In this video, we're going to learn how to use Microsoft Access to create queries and table data. Now, for the sake of time, I've already gone ahead and created all of the tables. But just to have a little recap on these table creation, we're going to go up here to the Create tab, create new table, and right here, we want to put the field in. Right-click it, go down to Rename Field, and you can type in whatever you'd like. That one is an auto number. The first one's always an auto number, so you're going to want to change that to short text or number, long text, whichever suits your needs for that field. Next, you click on this one, you can go short text or number, depending on if you have numbers to put in or if the information you're going to put in is, say, a course name like we're going with today. So I'd do short text for there, and so on and so forth until you have basically what these tables look like. To save them, you go over here, save. Type in what you want the table to read as at the top, and that's how that'll work right there. Let's go ahead and get rid of this because we don't need it. Delete. Yes. Alright, now for our first query that we're going to have to create, we're going to go with how often did Potter study for his classes this semester. Let's go to Create, Query Design. We need all three of these data tables right here. And we're going to want the last name, course name, credit hours, and hours studied. Now, since we're only going to go with Potter today, we're going to go down to Criterion, type in Potter, and make sure it's in parentheses. After that, we push Run. We'll get our first query here. This one we'll save as Potter study time per class. And after that, we've got that right there. That comes down under our queries. Go ahead and close this one out. It'll still be right here for us to pull up later if need be. Go back to Create, Query Design. Task number 2 is how often should Potter have studied per class. So, again, we're going to need all three of these tables. Close those out. And then we come over and we're going to need last name, course name, credit hours, the hours studied, and then we're going to need a whole new field of required study time. So down here, we're going to come to Field, click the Zoom button. Up here in the box, we're going to create our new field called Required Study Time. If I can spell correctly. And a colon, that way we signify that it is the field. So for this one, we're going to have an open bracket, indicating which field we're going to use, and we're going to use credit hours. Close the bracket, and we're going to multiply that by 2. Just like that. We're still just going to want Potter in the criteria. So that we'll click, excuse me. It seems that I cannot spell today. Credit hours, there we are. Click Run, and that'll give us the number of required study time. Always go ahead and increase the fields. That way you can actually read what the fields are. The field names, I should say. I'll save this one under Potter required study time. Required. Excuse me. And we can go ahead and close this one out as well. Now, the third question is how much additional time should Potter study per class? Query Design, right here. We'll go to Queries. The only thing we're going to need is the last query that we did, which is Potter study time, or excuse me, Potter required study time. I'm going to add this one in. We need last name, course name, credit hours, the required study time, hours studied, and then an entirely new field yet again. So we go down to Zoom, we'll go to study time deficiency, if I can spell correctly today, D-E-F-I-C. There's the colon, open bracket to signify that we are going to use our required study time field. Subtract that away from the hour study field. Save that there. Again, criteria is only going to be for Potter. We're going to run that one here. And we see that he has a pretty bad study time deficiency because he's not like Hermione or Ron. Well, I don't know. Ron might not be very bright, so go ahead and save this one. Potter study time deficiency. There's that. Go ahead and close that one out. Now, for fourth question, the last question. Overall, how much additional study time should Potter study? Again, one last query. And we're just going to need the study time deficiency query. We're going to add that to the table. Last name. We're going to need the credit hours, the required study time, number of hours studied, and the study time deficiency. Let's just go ahead and get this out of the way right here. Potter for the field. We're going to right click on the field up top. We're going to click on totals, and the total we're going to group them by sums. Now by doing this, we're just going to be adding together all of the numbers that were in the credit hours, required study time, hours studied, and study time deficiency to see exactly what Potter's doing and how much time he needs. So let's go ahead and expand all of these once more. That way we can actually read. I'm going to save this one as Potter Souls. Potter sum total. So we have his deficiency, the sum of his deficiencies, the hours studied, the sum of the required, and the sum of credit hours. And that should conclude everything that we have today.